My name is Shan McGee, and this is my grandpa, Stuart Dwight McGee. He's going to tell us lifestyles and what happens on the Lexington. Okay.
Well, go ahead, Shannon, and tell me, and I'll try to answer you the best of my ability. Of course, I'm getting up there. I'm 82 years old now, and so some of the things may be fading from my mind, but I'll give you the best description that I can in this period of time.
Okay. What was life like on the Lexington?
Well, there's approximately 3,500 to 4,000 naval personnel on board there, plus 95 Marines that are stationed there. I happen to be a Marine stationed on there, and life was just a typical naval life that most sailors go through during their tour of duty in the naval service.
What did you do in the spare time?
Well, in my spare time, we usually cleaned our rifles, made sure the guns we had aboard the ship was nice and clean. We did a certain amount of exercise to keep in physical shape, because it's not much you can do aboard a ship to doing a lot of physical agility. What
was your rank and your duties?
My duty, I was the orderly for the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship's name was Admiral Frederick Sherman, and I was his orderly there, and that required me to be there 8 hours every day. And my other duty was I was a gun pointer on a 5-inch 25 naval gun.
Where were you on the Lexington?
Well, I was spent 8 hours up here in the forward compartment where the naval captain had his quarters when I was on duty. When I was off duty, I was at midships of the Lexington, and my gun, when I was on gun duty, was towards the aft end of the boat on the port side, gun 8. That was my duties, and that's where I had my quarters too.
Was it easy making friends on the Lexington, and do you still keep in touch with them?
Yes, it's quite easy to make friends on the Lexington. There was generally you hung out mostly with Marines, but there was some sailors there, and as of now, I have no close friends. Most of the personnel that were aboard the Lexington at that time have passed away. There is still a few left, and we meet once a year at a club called the Lexington Club. This year it will be the last year of the club because people are so old, and it will be in May in Long Beach, California.
What was sleeping quarters like?
Well, the living quarters is quite crowded. You had a bunk that they call a bunk that slept on the wall of the room that you were in, and the wall was called a bulkhead, and you had that, and you had a locker. That was all that you had aboard a ship because of the amount of men in such a confined area.
What type of food was served? Was it good?
The food was basically good and nourishing, considering the stuff that they had to leave on the ship for long periods of time. It was quite nourishing.
What were your worst and best memories aboard the Lexington?
Well, I had a lot of good times on Lexington when we went to different places, different ports, but the worst time was during the Battle of the Coral Sea when we got sunk, and some of my good friends aboard there didn't make it, and so and a lot of sailors didn't make it too, and so that left me sort of sad.
Why did you enlist for World War II?
Well, basically I grew up in the Midwest, and I didn't like it there too well. I always wanted to go to California, where I heard things were wonderful, and the one way for me to get there was to join the service. Prior to that time, there wasn't many good jobs in the Midwest, so I wanted to go to the state of California, and that was one way to get there, was to join the service.
How old were you when you enlisted?
I believe I was just 20 years old when I enlisted in the Marine Corps.
How many men do you think were on the ship?
There were between 3,500 and 4,000 on the ship. Most of them were naval personnel. 95 of them were Marines.
Where were you when the Lexington got hit?
I was on gun 8 on the aft end of the ship on the port side.
What rescue ship picked you up?
Well, I was picked up. I was swimming in the ocean, and I got picked up by a motor whale boat from the cruiser Minneapolis. It was a heavy cruiser.
Were you injured at all?
No, I was not injured. Nothing was wrong with me.
Where did you go after the Lexington was gone?
Well, our first place we went to was to Nomea, New Caledonia.
How many years were you on board the Lexington?
Well, I was aboard the Lexington approximately 14 months.
Okay, could you tell us about this little cap?
Well, this little cap here is a cap that people that were on the gun crews had because the noise of the guns was so loud and so deafening to the ear. You put cotton in your ears, and this little hat held the cotton in your ears to keep it from blowing out. So when I had to swim from the ship, why, we all had our hats on yet. So this is one thing I still have left from the ship, from the Lexington.
Okay. Yeah. Here's a picture of him, like with that hat thing after the Lexington got hit.
Yes, that's a picture of me in the middle there naturally, and that's my father and mother. And this picture was taken after the ship sunk, and I was on furlough back in Ames, Iowa, and this was in around June 1st, 1942.
Could you tell us about this picture?
This is a picture of me. I'm on the left side here, and these two are Marines that were aboard the ship with me. This is just another Marine that wanted to be around with us at the time, but these two were with us, and this gentleman here, his name was Allred. He was wounded in the Battle of the Coral Sea. This one came off okay, and here I am. I came off okay.
Where was this picture taken?
This picture was taken in San Diego after the Battle of the Coral Sea.
Was that after the Lexington was hit?
That was after the Lexington was sunk.
And that is a little about my grandpa when he was on the Lexington.
Thank you.